Mom, Dad, I made a friend today!
What is happening at CNN? Is there someone in the break room who is cracking open red pills into the coffee pot that everyone's drinking from? This weekend, we watched on CNN red pill after red pill get dropped to the viewers of CNN who must be sitting there in the airport going, "Oh my God, my eyes," as they listen to pundit after pundit on this panel talk about how Joe Biden's lies are not working with the American people. Truly one of the most shocking moments we've ever seen broadcast. And it descends into one of the guests saying, "Let's go, Brandon," and then all hell breaks loose. Listen to this panel on CNN and wonder to yourself, are we at the cusp of victory?
Talk about these wage gains, as he was talking about on Friday. They have to balance that with the fact that that is being undermined by inflation.
Look, everything the president just said that we just listened is true. It's also largely irrelevant. When inflation is where it's at, when you see gas prices going where it's at, we can talk about a jobs report here. We can talk about the latest PCE numbers of the CPI, and all of us former Bloomberg reporters can really get into the weeds, right? But there's one number that they can't really change right now, and that is what the placard says at the local gas station.
Yeah.
And that number is high, and that's a daily jobs report that voters, that Americans, consumers see every day, and there's nothing the White House can do about it other than bring down the price of gasoline, which is tough.
And maybe blame Putin. And this week the tagline was the Putin price hikes or something to that effect.
Look, when I drive past gas stations that say blame Putin more than they say let's go Brandon, I'll know the White House. I'll know the White House has been successful in messaging it.
That is fascinating in its own right. But take a look at this Quinnipiac poll. Americans just don't buy that this is related to the war in Ukraine, and most of it, frankly, is not. 41% say it's Biden's policies, just 24% say the war in Ukraine. 24% also say, the oil and gas companies are raising prices. But the White House is trying to do both. Blame Putin, blame the oil and gas companies, but Americans just don't agree.
So, of course, what they're talking about there on the panel is Joe Biden lying about gas prices and the realities associated with regular American life. Most people just don't give a about what's going on in Ukraine. Most people are very concerned about what's going on in Ukraine, this show included. We've highlighted it and featured it on this channel many times. But you see, here's the thing. When you start to affect the life of somebody who lives here in this country, you begin to make them worry about their future. Regular Americans are really worried about our open southern border. They're very worried about our collapsing currency, about inflation, stagflation, about what's going on as it pertains to the indoctrination of our children into radical gender theory. People in this country are worried about the security of our elections and the security of our streets. Doesn't mean you can't also worry about Ukraine, but if we're getting the sense that you care more about Ukraine than you do about this place where we all live, then you are going to get clobbered. And that is precisely what happened over on MSNBC. We couldn't believe this clip is even real, where the libs on MSNBC take turns putting Joe Biden into a brown burlap sack and beating him with a baseball bat over what he's doing on the southern border. Check this out.
People who are running for re-election, especially, this is going to be difficult for them. Democrats, you have Senator Mark Kelly in Arizona, Catherine Cortez Masto in Nevada, two key states as far as immigration is concerned. And Senator Kelly said after this announcement, you did this without a plan.
I want to put up, she brought up Mark Kelly and I'll add another senator in here, Maggie Hassan. Let me put up here, Mark Kelly, unacceptable to end Title 42 without a plan and coordination. Maggie Hassan, ending Title 42 prematurely will likely lead to a migrant surge. And of course, we heard from Joe Manchin, Title 42 has been an essential tool.
I've been watching a lot of Republican primary ads, and it seems like immigration's in every one of those ads. So I went back and I asked the folks who cover this, but more so than ever. So at this point, this is early March, more than 30% of all Republican primary ads mention the border or immigration. At this point in 2018, it was 12%. It is an issue that is not just animating. Right now, it's animating the Republican base, but it becomes an issue, as I said, much more about is the administration prepared to deal with the problems that go on their plate? And it just seems that so often with the administration thus far, it is much more about wish casting than it is preparation. Wish casting about inflation, right? It's going to be transitory. Wish casting that we're going to get mansion, we're going to get cinema, they're going to just come around eventually. This immigration isn't going to solve itself. The border isn't going to solve itself.
And just in case you were wondering if you can get a trifecta for corporate cable television beating on Joe Biden with a hammer, Juan Williams, who is the Democrat, worked in Democrat administrations, worked at NPR. Juan Williams himself is a lib. He's paid to be a lib on Fox News. Not even he could keep the drumbeat going for Joe Biden, essentially saying that Joe Biden and his son deserve to be in handcuffs over their criminal enterprise in the Biden crime family. Watch.
For the president, what do you make of the expansion that we're seeing in this case?
Well, I think that there's now a mounting wave of evidence that you see Hunter Biden using his family name, Martha, to make money for himself. I mean, this is I don't think it's unfair to him to say this is a man with serious drug problems, a sort of drug-addled problem child for that family. There's no evidence that it was tied to the president, that the president knew about it, or that the president profited in any way. But I don't think there's any doubt. It's embarrassing politically to the president, and especially so if there's an indictment of Hunter Biden. Now, I will say that, this is Washington. The families of politically connected, prominent people often use those ties for business. We saw that with Trump's family. We've seen it before. But, to me, the idea that, former President Trump's asking President Putin for more information, I just indicates, this is politically potent for any opponent of President Biden. Even in a week in which you had a congressman talking about orgies and cocaine use, it's incredible that Hunter Biden's story continues to be in the headlines.
So yeah, a utterly brutal weekend for Joe Biden. He could be flipping through the channels, drooling from the side of his mouth, applesauce on his lap, blanket over himself, flipping, going MSNBC, f*** you. CNN, f*** you. Fox News, f*** you. It's really, really bad as it pertains to Joe Biden's weekend on cable news. We've never seen it really this bad. It seems like the ships are sailing. As we've said many times on this channel, these people are soulless. If they get the impression that the ship's going down, they'll flee the ship like the rats they are. These rats, they live very close to the ground. They can feel the walls shake and the tremors under the earth before you can. And let me tell you, these rats are fleeing the ship. Watch where the rats go. So where the expression fleeing the ship like a rat comes from, the corporate press are turning on Joe Biden because they know he's done for. Thank you for watching. We are 100% independent news. Are you sick of being lied to? We certainly are. That's why we started this channel. But we can't do it without you. We can't keep going without your help. All we ask is that you click like and subscribe and share this video. It's free. And it keeps us going, it keeps us growing, it keeps us getting the truth out there to break the rotted corporate media infrastructure that wants to lie to you every single day, wants to corrupt your narratives, your truth, your story, and your very society. So support us by clicking like, clicking subscribe, and thank you, Patriots.